and we continue to do those things, then we're going to find ourselves continually in position to win football games. And then special teams have been a positive for us in many ways this year at times, and continuing to make sure we win the special teams battle is the third element for us to put ourselves in best position to be successful.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Best of luck. Let's go get Geneva.
Thank you.
That's Grove City College head football coach Andrew DiDonato. You've been listening to the Andrew DiDonato Show on 91 FM WSAJ. Kickoff is next on the home of the Wolverines.
When young men turn 18, they think they know a lot about the facts of life. But there are a few more facts they need to know. Fact, you have to register with Selective Service when you turn 18. It's the law. Fact, registration keeps you eligible for government jobs and student loans. Fact, it's easy to register. Just visit sss.gov or any post office. Register with Selective Service when you turn 18. It's the law, and that's a fact.
Phil Nussbaum here on the Bluegrass Review. Our show has the big bluegrass hits and the little song gems, plus interviews and features that tell what's happening. We've got the old stuff, the new stuff, and of course, the hard stuff. Saturday, 12 till 2 in the afternoon, Sunday, 8 till 10 in the morning on WSAJ-FM, Grove City College, 91.1.
What is that?
Oh, it's my time machine.
Does it work?
Sure, just hit this button.
Whoa, dinosaurs, cool.
Or we can go here.
Hey, that's Napoleon.
Oui.
Or we can go to the future.
Wow, hey, you have this nice house. Do I have a nice house?
No, you didn't save any money, always spent it on vacations and stuff.
If only there was a way I could go back in time and correct that bad habit.
Yep.
Okay, the time machine is not real, but the saving thing is. Get in the habit of putting some of your money in savings each week through a 401k, savings account, or financial investments. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy tips on saving, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
What does this crazy little button do?
Wait, no!
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Grove City College's radio voice is 91 FM WSAJ, Grove City.
From Robert E. Thorne Field on the campus of Grove City College, it is Wolverines football on the home of the Wolverines, 91.1 WSAJ. This afternoon, the Wolverines host the Golden Tornadoes of Geneva, who come in at 3-4 and 2-3 in President's Athletic Conference play. The Wolverines 2-5 and 2-3. Jim Craven joins me again this week. Jim, the Wolverines coming off the bye last week, 2 weeks to prepare for this GT triple option.
Yeah, you can see the improvement in Grove City all season long. They've done a great job. Had a great first half against Westminster. Competed very well. Second half, started to kind of fall off the edge a little bit, but you can see the improvement in the players, in the program. Great things happening here at Grove City.
Beyer, Setcho, Armbrecht, and Miner, the Wolverine captains, are at midfield heading to the stripe for the coin toss. This is the 92nd meeting all time between these two academic institutions, with the first meeting all the way back to 1893.
Yeah, and that's a long-time rivalry there. You think about it. You're thinking back to the horse and buggy days, pretty much. So it's to have it come up to now, over 90 years. It's very impressive, and that says a lot about the stability of both programs.
Geneva winning this matchup last year over in Beaver Falls, 21-14. We go down to the field for today's coin toss with our referee, Jack Thorne.
Geneva won the toss and will defer. Grove City will receive to start the game.
So the Golden Tornadoes won the toss. They have deferred. So the Wolverine offense on the field for the first time here this afternoon. And when you talk about this Wolverine offense, you talk about Wesley Schools, Jim, who's been on a roll. 675 yards rushing, 5th in the conference, and 4 straight 100-yard games.
Yeah, and I don't even think those statistics say everything about him. The way he runs, he has speed and he has power, and they're building this offense around him. He's a great building stone, and it shows that every week as Grove City continues to
Here come the Wolverines onto the field with the crimson and tops with the white pants, the red G on the side, the Wolverine helmets. Golden Tornadoes across the field from us in the gold uniforms with the navy blue trim and the navy blue helmets. And just a couple of years ago, this offense on their veteran head coach switching from more of a spread style to a triple option where most schools are going the opposite direction.
Yeah, it was interesting as we were looking at the rosters and the lineups today. The offenses were, it looked like a listing of a conventional offense. However, you know, they've shown this year they're running that triple option, and it's difficult to defend. That takes a lot of discipline on the part of the defense and the fight. You have to fight the urge to over pursue into the backfield in that offense.
So getting set to get this one underway this afternoon. Weather will be a factor. It is 41 chilly degrees. A little bit of a breeze here at Robert E. Thorne Field, blowing from left to right, and the rain continues to fall.
Yeah, and it's certainly a new element. We haven't seen this pretty much all season. This is the lowest temperature we've seen. So it's going to be about ball control and securing that, especially in the turnover department. We see that Geneva is -7 in fumbles this year. So that's something that Grove City can play on.
2 men back deep for the Wolverines. And it's going to be Ross at the 20. Fakes the end around a shower, comes across the 20, 25, out across the 30 and near the 32-yard line. And a nice return by Jacob Ross in good field position for the Wolverines, going left to right here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, Grove City throwing a little bit of wrinkle in there on the kick return already and giving themselves great field position. Again, key for them today, ball security. It's not too wet out there. There is a steady sprinkle, but you know, again, that ball gets wet and it gets heavy and it bounces kind of funny too.
Labria out of the pistol. Schools the tailback. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right side. Labria going to give it to Schools, running up the middle. Wesley hit right at the line, able to push the pile forward for a gain of 1. Brings up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, Grove City wanted to get that running game started immediately with Schools. And again, he's been the foundation of the offense in that particular situation. Just a stalemate at the line of scrimmage, just nowhere to go.
Cameron Drake checks out. Jared Reppert will check back in at the fullback spot. It's 2nd down and 9. Schools again out of the, Labrie out of the pistol with Schools, the running back. 2 receivers left. That is Gustafson now to the right side amongst the leading receivers in the conference. Going to give it to Schools again, up the middle, breaks across the 40, spins his way across the 40 near the 44-yard line, and that'll be a Wolverine 1st down.
Right, you can see already the key battles are going to be between the guards in the center and that defensive line and how that's going to play out. And so far, Grove City's kind of 1 for 1 on those battles, but they're trying to get that running game going, and they're going to build off of that.
2 receivers to the right, 1 now to the left side. Labrie out of the pistol. Schools is the tailback. 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Labrie takes the snap, gives it to Schools, cutting middle, gets across the 45 and down near the 46-yard line. It's been all Wesley Schools on this opening drive so far.
Yeah, that's how much faith they have in him. But I love the design of that play with Reppert at that left wing spot, pulling to the right and kind of drawing the Geneva defense that way. Schools going to the left side. So great play action.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right side. Labrie out of the pistol with Schools about a yard behind him to the right. Play clock down to 10. Play fake to Schools. Labrie looking, firing over the middle. Pass too tall, intercepted by the Golden Tornadoes. And they'll get the ball back all the way across the 45-yard line. Ball came loose, but they'll say that the runner was down, and Labrie has thrown his 7th interception of the year so far.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see how he threw that. You know, is the ball getting heavy already? It kind of come off like a shot put more than a pass, and it kind of sailed on him.
Pass
so
was
unfortunately,
intercepted.
that's
Runners ruled down. 1st down, Geneva.
So Geneva will have it at the Wolverine 28-yard line. Brian Stafford out of Sharpsville is the quarterback. Trayvon Marshall, the fullback. Colin Kendrick is the tailback. Going to give it on a little toss outside of the tailback. He's going to be hit and dropped back behind the 40, back near the 41-yard line. Kyle Byer from his safety, the senior, coming up and making the play.
Yeah, Byer reading that wonderfully. Geneva trying to run the option to the left. Pitch was a little bit high. Threw the timing off of the play, and it kept the running back's eyes high. He couldn't see where he was going to make a move. but great play by Grove City coming up, making that tackle for a loss.
Loss of 3 on the tackle by Kyle Byer. Senior playing his next to last home game out of Perry, Ohio. Stafford again under center, running backs to his right and left. Going to send the man in motion. Going to give it to the fullback. He is hit at the line, able to surge forward for a yard. That is Trayvon Marshall, well up over 1,200 yards rushing. And he is stopped after a short gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, I think there was some miscommunication between the quarterback and the fullback there. Looked like Stafford wanted to pull that ball, and it didn't look like Marshall wanted to give it up. And you saw Stafford went to the ground almost trying to pull it from him.
Cam Haley, a freshman defensive end, will check in out of Pittsburgh and Mount Lebanon High School on 3rd and 12 for the Golden Tornadoes. One receiver will go to the right side, wings to the right and left. Stafford under center. Marshall is the fullback. Going to fake the toss. He's back to pass under all kinds of pressure, and he's going to be hit and sacked back near midfield, and this will bring up 4th down and long.
Yeah, great pressure by the Grove City defense. And pretty much came from all angles. Not a great job by Geneva picking up the blitzes, and a well-called play, or well-timed play, bringing up 4th down.
Haley and Reed in there on the stop for the Wolverines, brings up 4th and 18. Shively will punt. Ross back to return this kick, standing near his own 10-yard line. High looping snap, kick blocked by the Wolverines special teams. They're going to pick the ball up at the 50, across the 45, across the 40 to the 35-yard line. A big block by the special teams, and the Wolverines have turned the tide here early.
And it looked like the Geneva punt team just released too early, went downfield, and that left some open players for Grove City just to roam around in that backfield. The punter had no chance of getting that off. Great block.
So the Wolverine special team sets the offense up 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line of the Golden Tornadoes. Penny Packer and Grieco go to the left. Gustafson to the right side. Schools to the left now of Labrie. High snap, give it to Schools, running right. Lowers the shoulder across the 30, 25, and bangs down near the 22-yard line. That'll be a Wolverine 1st down.
Again, Grove City just executing that handoff play out to the right side. Nothing fancy, but I've gotten to see Repper play a couple of times now, and that guy is the one that makes it work. He's just driving guys down the field, opening those lanes.
Repper on a wing to the right now. Labrie out of the pistol. Schools to his right as well. Gustafson to the right. Penny Packer and Grieco, with Grieco in the slot to the left. Play clock down to 12 seconds. Labrie takes the snap, gives it to Schools, running between the hashes, lowers the shoulder across the 20, and will push the pile down near the 17-yard line. Getting good push with that experienced offensive line up front.
Yeah, the offensive line doing a great job. And Reppert again pulling from the right to the left, much like they did earlier, only this time Schools countered back to follow him and was able to pick up good yards.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 as we go under 10 minutes to play. Scoreless here in today's opening quarter. Same look for the Wolverines. Give it to Schools, running to the right side. Runs by the defender across the 15 and then knocked down at about the 14-yard line. Looked like the Golden Tornadoes got some pursuit into the backfield, but he ran right by him.
Yeah, unfortunately, Geneva doesn't seem to have the speed at the linebacker position that maybe Grove City has in their backfield, and they just trailed the play for the entire way. So it's a good show of speed by Grove City, and they've shown that over this season. That is one asset they do have.
3rd down and 1. Labrie checks with the sidelines. Plenty of time on the play clock. It's Gustafson to the right. Grieco and Penny Packer to the left. Labrie takes the snap, gives it to Schools. Stutter step. He'll have the 1st down and be pushed back shy of the 10 near the 12-yard line, but that will move the chains.
Yeah, and that's what Grove City wants to do. They want to chip away at this, keep this ball moving. They don't want to have to throw it. It's still wet out there, and we see what happened on the first pass. It was more of a shot put, again, than a straight pass. So, this is probably the safer way to go.
Reppert on a wing to the left. Labrie is the quarterback. Schools the tailback. Will now move from his left to his right side. Out of the pistol. Play clock down to 10. Labrie takes the snap. Gives it to Schools. Steps inside a defender. Tries to bounce it to the outside. Breaks through one tackle inside of the 5 and down near the 2-yard line. Great run by Wesley Schools and a great effort after initial contact.
Interestingly enough, it looks like Geneva was at the point of attack. They had the right call on. That was all Schools making a good run and a jump cut that was absolutely excellent. I haven't seen that from him before, but he was able to get outside. Geneva doing a decent job of stringing that out and using the sideline.
It'll be first and goal for the Wolverines. Wesley Schools has been the workhorse offensively here in the opening quarter for the Wolverines, carrying the football. Single receivers to each side. Now they'll go strong to the right side, over off-balance line to the right. Schools going to cut that way, get the handoff from Labrie, pushing the pile, looking for the end zone, and he's going to be stopped just shy of the goal line. It'll bring up second and goal inside the 1-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to give him some forward progress on that, but it was a good stalemate for Geneva at the line, hold them up. And that's going to bring up a very manageable and a good situation on second down.
7:40 to play, opening quarter, no score. Wolverines at the Golden Tornado 1-yard line. Special teams blocked a punt. The offense is taking it right down the field on the doorstep of the end zone. Again, they'll go unbalanced line to the right side. Man will go in motion, give it to Schools. Schools lowers the shoulder and dives into the end zone for his 8th touchdown of the year. The Wolverines are on the board.
Yeah, great read by Schools, actually, as the offensive line got a good push. Repper came from that left side, was lined up behind the left guard, and just powered their way into the end zone. And again, Grove City starting off quick and fast, much like they did against Westminster.
Tyler Gustafson will hold. Mitch Causer on to attempt the extra point. Line to the right here at Robert E. Thorne Field. Causer wearing 96 in his sophomore year. Snap down, rush on, extra point all the way, and good. So Causer now 15 of 16 in extra points, and the Wolverines strike first, leading 7-0 over Geneva with 7:18 to play, opening quarter. We're back after this on 91.1 WSAJ.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've messed up your daughter's haircut. Do you A, get spiritual?
Mom, where's the mirror?
Beauty is within. Oh.
B, find the positives?
Less time blow drying, more time texting?
Or C, show empathy?
Mom, you really don't have to.
Twinsies!
I kinda love it. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Well, Jim, the offense taking Daniel Jackson's block punt, turning it into a 1-yard touchdown run by Wesley Schools, and the Wolverines up early.
Yeah, and Geneva has had some issues with turnovers this year. Again, they're -7 on the fumbles, but that was a big special teams play for Grove City. Set them up in a good situation, and Grove City does what they do. They went right downfield running, and they've established a run game, and that's going to open up so much more for them.
Caleb Brake, the freshman punter, also handles the kickoff duties. Golden Tornadoes have 2 men back deep. High, short, end over end kick fielded by an up man across the 20, outside 25, across the 30, bounces off a tackler to the 35 to the 36-yard line before he's pulled down from behind, and the Golden Tornadoes will have pretty good field position.
And that short kick looked intentional. It looks like they're trying to keep him away from the returners, and they're willing to give Geneva the ball right around the 35 to 40-yard line and depend on their defense, which has played very well so far, bailing out the offense after that turnover in the first series.
Wolverines will take an extra defensive back off the field and bring in Cam Hanley on that defensive front. Showing a 4-man front against this triple option attack. Stafford under center, sends the man in motion. Going to turn, give it on the quick handoff. And they'll get across the 40 and out near the 42-yard line.
And you can tell that Grove City's stepping towards that motion guy, trying to anticipate, either an option or the run in the middle. They're going to have to watch for that counter, though, as they may see a wingback come back to the backside.
Marshall on the carry, give him a gain of 4. One of the leading rushers in the country in Division III, as we mentioned, up over 1,200 yards on the year so far. Marshall again at the fullback spot, wings to each side of this triple option attack. Man will go in motion. They're going to give it to him on the outside, and he's able to turn upfield across the 45 and to the 46-yard line. That's Nick Monteleone, who lined up at a wingback spot, and he'll bring up 3rd down and short.
Yeah, not a bad job tackling by Grove City. Colin Kendrick from Geneva did a great job blocking downfield, opened up a lane. However, I believe it's going to be Ethan Conto who made the tackle. Textbook tackle, was able to get low, wrap him up, and twist him around.
3rd down and 1. Monteleone goes in motion. They give it to Marshall. Bounces off a tackle. And the ball came loose on the turf. Wolverines are saying they've got the football, and they do. Marshall had the first down, but continued to push the pile, and the turnover bug continues to haunt the Golden Tornadoes.
Yeah, we just talked about that prior to kickoff. They were
Fumble
-7
on the play. Covered by Grove City. First down.
And again, Grove City taking advantage of that. You know that Geneva has the propensity to drop that ball or put it on the turf. And so far, two turnovers put them in great position early in this game.
1st and 10 for the Wolverines at their own 48-yard line. Best starting field position so far. 5:55 to play in the opening quarter. Labrie takes the snap, fakes to Schools, flips it to Pennypacker, looking to throw. Gustafson downfield, ball underthrown. Gustafson deflects it and catches his own deflection at the 20 and down near the 18-yard line. And now they're gonna call it incomplete.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure they got that call right. Pennypacker kept the concentration on that. He bobbled it a little bit, but it looked like it landed in his chest on the ground.
Yeah, it looked like one official had spotted it as a catch, and the other came in, overruled, and said it was incomplete, but great concentration by the freshman.
Oh, fantastic. He was in coverage with 3 defensive backs there, and I think that may have been what prevented the officials from seeing the completion. Of course, from our angle, it's a little bit different, but from down there, I'm sure it was a little harder to see.
2nd and 10 at the 48-yard line. Labrie checking with the sidelines. Gustafson and Grieco to the right. Pennypacker to the left. Labrie out of the pistol, takes the snap, runs the option down the sidelines. He'll keep it and gets stood up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Now, I was just told by the staff here that was an incomplete pass upon review, so good call by the officials. I'd like to give them their due. You know, even though it looked, and again, we always talk about, what they see on the field and what we see up here, and it's 2 different angles. So a great job by the crew there.
So 3rd and 10 at the 48-yard line. Peternell and Drake will check in. Reppert and Schools come to the sidelines on 3rd and 10. 4 receivers right, 1 to the left side. Labrie's going to be all alone in the backfield. Play clock under 10. Now down to 5. Labrie takes the looping snap. Going to step up in the pocket. Firing. Grieco leaps up. Makes the first down catch inside the 40 and down to the 39-yard line. Gabe Grieco leaping up to make that play. Using all of his 5'9" frame, the senior converts the 3rd and long.
Yeah, Grieco from that slot position, just down the seam, nothing fancy. And for 5'9", he went up very high to get that ball. Again, not a great pass, though, by Labrie. You wonder if he's having trouble with that ball already.
1st and 10 at the Golden Tornado 39-yard line. Pennypacker, Grieco to the left side. Gustafson to the right. Reppert on a wing to the right side. Moving left, give it to Schools. And a flag comes in as Schools will power the ball down to the 36-yard line, and our first penalty of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's been clean here for most of the first quarter. We'll see.
Holding 70 the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
So the holding penalty on sophomore center Jeff Matthews will back them up.
The penalty is holding 10 yards. First down and 20.
And with 4:26 to play in the opening quarter, Grove City has the ball in Geneva territory with a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, Geneva had the look that Grove City wanted, and don't work for the holding though.
Labrie takes the snap, turns it over, pump fakes, pulls it down, looking downfield. He's going to now run with it, get upfield across the 45 and near the 44, maybe close to the 43-yard line before going out of bounds.
Yeah, I think there was 2 issues with that play. Number 1, Geneva had great coverage in the secondary. There was absolutely nobody open, and it looks like that Labrie was a little bit nervous about throwing that ball. And again, it's not raining very hard here, but just enough maybe to put a little weight on that ball and kind of change the dynamics of it.
A little bit of wind and a little bit of rain. It was in the low 40s at kickoff. So trips to the right now. Twins to the left side. Again, Randall Labrie, the sophomore, all alone in the backfield. Takes the snap. Standing in. Throws underneath. Drake makes the catch and then is hammered down at the 35-yard line. And it's going to bring up third down for the Wolverines.
Yeah.
Pass complete to number 11, Cameron Drake.
Yeah, Cameron Drake on the catch, and he fought through the defender for that ball. Yeah, definitely not pass interference as he was going for the ball, but great strength shown by the receivers. And that's something I've noticed about Grove City is they're just athletes, fast and strong, and that's making for a great combination for this offense.
3rd and 6, they'll overload the left side with 4 receivers, 1 to the right. Looking that way for Gustafson, comes back to the ball and good coverage downfield by the Golden Tornadoes to knock that pass away. Jared Hogue, the senior from Freedom, jumped the route and knocked it away.
Yeah, he read that pretty well. And again, not a lot of zip on that ball. And I don't know if that's an issue that we're having, again, with the ball, or if maybe it's a problem he's having maybe with his arm. But Gustafson was in an open area, probably could have picked up a few yards.
They'll go on 4th down and 6. Trips to the left, 1 man to the right. Schools down moves to the left side of Randall Labrie out of the pistol. Labrie takes the snap, looking downfield, rolling back to the right side now, trying to avoid the pressure, and he's going to fire this downfield to Grieco, who makes the catch and works his way near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Labrie trying to make that work. He was all over the field, and Dalton Callahan came peeled back, an offensive lineman, junior offensive tackle.
Pass is short of the line to gain. Geneva ball, first down.
Again, usually their offensive lineman peel him back, and that bought some time for Labrie, but unfortunately came up just short of that first down.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Geneva as they take over on downs with 2:50 to play here in a fast-moving first quarter, and the Wolverines with a 7-0 lead. Stafford, the Sharpeville native, remains at the quarterback spot. Marshall, the feature back, out of the fullback spot with wings to each side. Man goes in motion. They're going to, quarterback's going to keep it, turn it upfield, breaks up over the middle, across the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Golden Tornadoes as Stafford found an opening right up the middle and took it the distance for the touchdown.
Yeah, and you can see Grove City defense was looking for him to pitch that. They didn't think he was going to run it and kind of got away from their assignments from the quarterback to the pitch man. And unfortunately, that just left an absolutely open field for Geneva.
Long touchdown run for Brian Stafford, leading a rushing quarterback in the conference. Dowler now on for the extra point at Atlanta Lakes, Florida. High snap, they get it down, the rush is on, and the extra point is up and good inside the right upright. 2:39 to play, first quarter. It is Geneva 7, Grove City 7 on 91.1 WSHA.
Dad, this is fun. I didn't think I liked kayaking.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I think it's time to head back in.
Okay. Can we come back?
Sure. Hey, be careful getting out of the boat.
It's a kayak, Dad.
I'm gonna return the kayak.
Can we walk home?
How about a taxi?
It's a short fare from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Geneva responds on the long touchdown run by senior quarterback Brian Stafford, and we're all tied up at 7.
Yeah, now we'll see how Grove City responds to this. That was just a blown assignment by the defense playing that quarterback to pitch man. And Grove City has responded well, though. This is something, when they have given up plays, they haven't let it affect them emotionally too much. They've usually come back and executed very well.
So the Golden Tornadoes set to kick this ball away. High, short kick. Ross going to run up on it, juggle it across the 20, 25, across the 30. Bounces it outside, 35, cuts it up across the 35. And down near the 38-yard line. Another good return by Jacob Ross.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job of following his blockers. We had 2 or 3 guys on two players, and he just followed them down there as like a wall. Great execution so far by the Grove City special teams also. You know, short of just one play, they've played a solid game so far.
So 1st and 10, Wolverines at their own 38-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Reppert on a wing to the right side. They give the ball to Schools. 2 hands on it. Breaks across the 40, 45 to the 46-yard line. Good run by the Wolverines on first down, Jim, and that really does open the playbook for more choices.
It's a great situation to be in 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3. But this Grove City offensive line has done a great job. They get off the ball and drive their legs just like they're coached.
Same look, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Ruppert on a wing to the right side. Schools now moves from right to the left of Labrie. 2nd down and 2. Give it to Schools again. Hesitates, wakes it through the hole across the 45, down to the 47-yard line. That hesitation, almost Le'Veon Bell-like, the way he holds and then runs through the gap.
Yeah, and Schools had a lot of time because Ruppert pulled from his right to his left, and it almost looked like the end from Geneva didn't want to make contact with him, so it slowed him down and left that entire lane open. So that's the amount of respect they have for Ruppert, who's just kind of a blue-collar, old-school football player.
1st and 10 into Golden Tornado territory. Give it to Schools again, running off the right side, and he bangs down just shy of the 35-yard line. And again, good running on first down.
Yeah, now give credit to Matt Villers on that. He's now pulling from his guard position. And although the Grove City offense is kind of basic, you got to watch. I mean, because everybody on there is an athlete. Even the linemen are pulling it and getting downfield. So it makes for a tough thing to defend, even though it doesn't seem very complicated.
Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. We go under a minute to play in the quarter. Labrie's going to keep it this time. Cut to the left side across the 30, 25, stepped inside a tackler, and down near the 23-yard line. He could have taken the easy way, gone out of bounds. Instead, he cut it back up, got an extra couple of yards.
Yeah, and from the coach, I might want him to maybe take that step out. You've got the first down, but John Henderson from Geneva, I think, is still looking for that ball, as Labrie had made a great read and pulled that ball.
Under a minute to play in the quarter. Labrie again out of the pistol with Gustafson and Grieco to the right. Penny Packer single coverage to the left. Play clock down under 10. Labrie takes the snap, gives it to Schools, hesitates, works his way across the 20-yard line. Geneva said they've come out of there with the football, and we've been given no indication.
And the officials are going to conference on this to see if he was down before that ball came out.
Our referee today is Jack Thorne, and it is Geneva football.
Fumble on the play, recovered by King.
So the ball fumbled by Grove City, and Geneva has recovered right near their own 20-yard line.
Grove City runner fumbled the ball, recovered by Geneva. It'll be first down, Geneva.
So this Wolverine offense, despite scoring that early touchdown, has turned it over 2 times here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's something they can't afford to do as a young team. They execute well, but they kill drives with this, and that's tough for them.
Golden Tornadoes come right to the line, 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Give it to the fullback on the carry. Once again, that's Marshall. And he's going to be stood up after a short gain, bring up 2nd and long.
Yeah, it was the old school T formation back there. And they just ran it to the right. Just power football. Grove City won that battle. They gave up about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. But they won that particular battle.
After 1, it is Geneva 7, Grove City 7 on the home of the Wolverines, 91-1 WSAJ.
Guys, like having a place to live, eating food, wearing clothes, sending 639 texts a week on a shiny new phone, there's one thing that can help you get the money to do all of those things. It's called a job. If you're a guy turning 18, there's one important thing you need to do to make sure the job market is wide open for you. Register with the Selective Service System at sss.gov. Failing to register with Selective Service would mean you'd not only be breaking the law, you'd also be unable to apply for federal jobs, many state and municipal jobs, and all kinds of job training programs the government offers. So guys, take a minute and register with the Selective Service. You'll keep your job prospects open. Otherwise, how are you going to get the basketball shoes with full-length responsive cushioning and an outsole cutout for low-profile impact protection? Take that minute, go to sss.gov and register with Selective Service, and keep all your options open. Remember, it's quick, it's easy, it's the law.
Ready to start the second quarter. We change ends of the field. We've got Golden Tornadoes now left to right on this 2nd down and just about 8 to go. Quarterback fakes it, turns, pitches it to the outside to Kendrick, who turns the corner, and slides down across the 30 near the 31-yard line.
Yeah, and that was well defended by Grove City. Kyle Byler and Ethan Conto strung that out. They had the quarterback and the pitchman, just kind of put their eyes down attempting that tackle and lost sight of the runner.
Wesley Scholes, Jim, in that first quarter, 14 carries, 78 yards, over 5.5 yards a carry.
Yeah, he's on pace for a 200-yard day, but averaging 5.6 yards a carry. That's incredible.
3rd and 3 for the Golden Tornadoes. Fake it to the fullback, pitch it to Monteleone, trying to turn the corner outside, and he's knocked down right near the sticks, but might just have enough for a first down. And Monteleone is definitely slow to get up, and they'll stop play with 14-17 to play.
Yeah, and Byer and Conto, again, from the safety positions, doing a good job of defending it, although they did give up a couple of yards. One thing I am seeing is they're kind of dropping their head on these tackles and missing them a little bit. They keep their heads up, and they're probably going to shorten the gains on these runs.
So Monteleone, who is the junior out of East Palestine, Ohio, being tended to by the training staff, looking at something either knee or lower on that little toss to the outside, and they did pick up the first down, but both teams will head to the sidelines.
Yeah, that turf can be a little bit tricky. You can either catch your cleat in there, or you can slide on it. So either way could cause a twist, a turn, and hopefully he's going to be able to get up and just walk off. They don't seem too concerned as they are now testing the mobility. He's not flinching, so that's a good thing to see.
You heard Sports Information Director Ryan Briggs in our crowd, Mike. It's the men's soccer team winning their 9th straight this afternoon and heading strong into the PAC tournament. Monteleone up under his own power, walking to the far sidelines. When we resume play with 14-17 to play, it'll be 1st and 10 for Geneva at their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, Monteleone doesn't seem to be having any trouble getting to the sideline, so maybe just a little tweak, and that happens from time to time on wet turf. And we'll see if Grove City can now adjust to this option and maybe get a stop here.
So 1st and 10 for the Golden Tornadoes at their 32-yard line. Stafford under center. Marshall remains the fullback. Wings to the right and left. Man will go in motion. Loose ball on the turf. Stafford bats it to himself and falls on the football back at the 29-yard line for a loss of 3.
Yeah, the Grove City defensive line came through Geneva's offensive line and completely disrupted it before the snap was even made.
And you know when you're putting this offense in a difficult field when they're behind the sticks.
Yeah, absolutely. You're running a triple option. Throwing is not something you're usually comfortable with. So, again, playing out of 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13 makes it a little bit tougher. The play calls get a little more narrow.
2nd and 13 against Stafford under center. Tosses it to the running back. Marshall trying to get to the outside. Broke through the first wave of defenders and falls back near the original line of scrimmage. But it will bring up a 3rd down and long.
That was well played by Grove City. Everybody kept to their assignments. They played the quarterback, the pitchman, and Aconto almost made the tackle in the backfield. Just couldn't wrap him up. But fortunately, the backside pursuit from Grove City was able to come up and keep him to no gain.
So Colin Kendrick picks up 3. Senior halfback out of Coopersburg. So 3rd down and 10. One receiver in this formation. Harrison Coslow, the junior. Stafford going to keep it, fake the pitch, and he's going to be thrown down back inside the 30 near the 28-yard line. That's another loss of about 3, and will bring up 4th and long.
Carlos Jazzcar, beautiful read. The defensive end came up, read the quarterback. Jazzcar was actually looking for the pitchman, but was able to wrap up the quarterback, and a great read, and that's exactly what they needed.
Jazzcar came into play today. Tops on the team in tackles with 63. Puts him in the top 10 in the conference as well.
And that says a lot. That's a ball player right there.
4th and 13. High snap, rush on again. This time they'll get the end-over-end kick away. Ross on the run. Stutter steps the defender, gets across the 30, 35, across the 45, and all the way down near the 47-yard line. Another good run on a return by Jacob Ross.
And the Grove City special teams have played well. They've set them up with some great field position. And even one turnover on the punt, too. So that's one of the three elements, that you actually need. It's a lot of times it's forgotten. However, Grove City's special teams are actually standing out today.
1st and 10. Wolverines starting on their own 48-yard line. We're tied at 7 apiece here with 11:48 to play in the half. LeBrie out of the pistol. Takes the snap. Fakes to School. Stands in. Fires underneath. Catch made by Pennypacker across the 40 and down to the 38-yard line, and a Wolverine first down.
And you can see they're focusing on Schools. LeBrie faked the ball to him, and it kind of froze that Geneva defense for a moment. And then Pennypacker coming across the middle. And I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there, but I was willing to take that shot.
At the 37-yard line, they'll spot the ball officially.
Get a little excited.
It was a big play. 1st and 10 at the 37. High snap. LeBrie pulls it down, gives it to Schools. Timing the thrown off on that play. And coming up defensively to make that play, that is Brandon Simmers, a freshman out of Altoona.
Now, we've seen that on both sides of the ball today where the snap's been kind of high, and it disrupts the timing because Schools hits the line of scrimmage so fast that when he has to wait, that gives Geneva time to react.
No gain. 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers go to the right, 1 to the left. Now Schools going to move to the right side of LeBrie. LeBrie takes the snap, clean pocket, looks to run, gets across the 35, cuts up field, and will run out of bounds right about the 31-yard line. They'll spot the ball at the 32. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, LeBrie looked like he wanted to pass that, but he read that immediately, saw the open field, came right to the left side there, got as much as he could, got out of bounds, not taking any unnecessary shots. But again, you see all the respect that Geneva has for Schools as they wanted to make sure he didn't have it.
LeBrie out of the pistol. Reppert and a wing to the left side. Schools now going to move to the left of LeBrie with 2 receivers to the right side. A little toss to Schools, turns upfield across the 30, 25 to the 24-yard line. That'll be a Wolverine first down.
You just see pure execution from Grove City right now, doing the little things, and Geneva having a little bit of a hard time reading them. They're so concerned with Schools that they're trying to get to LeBrie before he gets rid of the ball just to make sure that Schools doesn't get it.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Gustafson and Grieco to the right. Pennypacker to the left. Schools to the right of LeBrie. Gets the football, hits the pile, and falls forward for about a 2-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 8.
A great job by Geneva's linebacking core. They all shifted with that play, filled in those gaps, and there was really nowhere to go on that. And that's one of the few times that Geneva's been able to slow down Grove City at the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 at the 23.
Spot the ball back a yard, make it 2nd and 9. LeBrie checking with the sidelines. Both teams, all 3 timeouts as we approach 9 minutes to play and a 7-7 tie here in the first half. LeBrie going to fake the pitch to Schools, turn it upfield across the 15, inside the 10, and down near the 9-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Wolverines.
And Geneva's having trouble reading the option, just like Grove City was having trouble now. Not keeping the assignments, not sticking with the quarterback, waiting for that pitch because they know they depend on Schools. But he played a great decoy in that particular instance.
Right back to the line. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Checking with the sidelines. Play clock down under 15. Three overlooking that defense, takes the snap, steps by the defender, cuts inside, continues to push the pile, and gets down to the 5-yard line. He'll pick up 5 at 2nd and goal from right there.
Yeah, and again, another great read by LeBrie. Saw a wide open middle. And Brandon Simmers from Geneva had a shot at him, but over-pursued it, giving LeBrie some room to run, just enough to get upfield and get just a little bit closer there.
So it's 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line as we go under 8 minutes to play first half. Gustafson, Grieco to the right, Pennypacker to the left, Schools the tailback to the right of Randall LeBrie out of the pistol. Takes the snap, gives it to Schools, running right up the middle, looking for the goal line and in for a 5-yard Wolverine touchdown. And for Wesley Schools, touchdown number 2 this afternoon and touchdown number 9 of his sophomore year.
And they continue to ride that train. I'll tell you, Schools is just tough. Again, speed and power, nothing fancy about that play. Straight up the middle, the offensive line getting hip to hip and just pushing right into the end zone.
So Causer will come on and attempt the extra point.
Causer to attempt the conversion. Tyler
Gustafson will hold. Snap high, he'll pull it down, kick on the way, and the extra point is no good as it missed outside of the right upright. 7:39 to play, first half. It is Grove City 13, Geneva 7 on 91.1 WSAJ.
Under music director Riccardo Muti, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra continues to be one of the finest orchestras in the world. I'm Lisa Simeone, and I hope you'll join me as we hear the CSO charge into the 21st century with repertoire both new and old, taking listeners behind the scenes and into the music. That's right here with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra.
Join us Wednesdays at noon, right here on 91.1 WSAJ, Grove City.
Coming in today, Jim, Wesley Schools had matched his high for touchdowns in a year with 7. He's put 2 on the board today and now has a career-high 9 in his sophomore year.
Yeah, he's been the key for the Grove City offense today, as well as many of the other games this year. Again, a combination of toughness and speed. And he's wonderful to build around. And, like you and I had said, that opens up the playbook for everybody when you have a back like that.
Break to kick the ball away. High kick, little short, going to be fielded at the 9. Coming up between the hashes across the 10, 15, 20, 25, tripped up at the 30, and falling down right near the 30-yard line. On the return, it's Colin Sweeney, number 1, listed as a quarterback and a freshman.
Yeah, Andrew Schauer did a great job for Grove City, coming from the backside of the kickoff team and chasing him down from behind. So, again, you see the young guys getting in here on these special teams and making these big plays.
13-7 Wolverines. Geneva has the football at their 32-yard line. Marshall, the fullback. Wing backs to each side. Stafford under center. Going to give it on a quick hitter to the fullback, Marshall. And he'll gain 1, bring up second down and 9.
Great penetration by that Grove City defensive line. Jacob Armbrecht just coming through there, getting low, wrapping up. And that's a hard thing to do with such a quick handoff because they're hitting the line so fast. And he's coming down from that defensive end spot and making big plays.
Well, they have done a good job so far containing Marshall, who came in with over 1,200 yards. Second and 9 at the 33. Stafford under center, wings to each side. Going to toss it to the back outside. Loose ball on the turf. Wolverines have fallen on this football at the 27-yard line.
I thought Cam Haley had that.
Yeah.
On the play, recovered by Geneva. Loss of 5 to the 28.
Haley looked like he fell on the football, but it must have popped loose, and one of the Golden Tornadoes, falls on the ball, but it's a loss of 5 yards.
And again, Geneva showing they're not, consistent in keeping the ball safe there, just pitching it out there. And not a very good pitch, went right behind the runner. And had Grove City with a big opportunity there, but couldn't come up with it.
So 3rd and 14. Movement up front, no flag. They'll toss it outside to a new ball carrier. And he turns it upfield, has a short gain. And it's going to bring up 4th down in there for Geneva. And it's Cody Long. That's Frankie Senefani, a freshman running back from New Middletown, Ohio, and Springfield local.
Yeah, a place I'm a little bit familiar with out there. We've actually been out there this season.
Called a couple of his playoff games together last year.
Absolutely. Good to see him out here.
So 3rd down and 11, and the Golden Tornadoes will punt.
Lloyd at the punt.
Snap back. Lloyd gets the kick away. Ross drifting back on this one. Just going to let it go out of bounds. And we'll look for the official spot of the football. Somewhere in the area of the 30. They'll spot it at the 28-yard line.
45-yard punt.
And the ball's a little bit heavier, so you see it's not traveling as far. It's not getting as much hang time. The officials seem to be doing a pretty good job of cycling the balls in and out, too. So that's actually going to help.
5:23 to play, first half. Grove City 13, Geneva 7. Wolverines back home against Bethany for senior day, next week at 1:30. LeBrie fakes to Schools, clean pocket, looking deep for Pennypacker, deflected and incomplete at the Geneva 40-yard line. That ball was in the air and batted around what seemed like forever.
Yeah, and I thought Pennypacker was going to come down with that one, too. Threw that into double coverage. But a great pocket by the offensive line. He had all day to throw that. Just couldn't get that separation out in the field there for Pennypacker. And you can see the respect they have for him as he's been in double coverage most of the day.
So 2nd and 10. Ball back to the Grove City 29-yard line. 3 receivers in the formation. LeBrie tossing it to Schools, running to the right side, looking for a block, and tripped up as he crosses the 35 and stopped at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, I like that play. LeBrie's dropping back a little bit. It almost looks like a pass, and then he's pitching it out from a shotgun position there. So you're getting Geneva to back up just a little bit, and that's creating time for the offensive line to get downfield, get good blocks.
Gain of 7. It is 3rd down and 3 at the 36-yard line. 3 receivers now. Go to the left. Schools going to go in motion out to the right. He'll empty the backfield. LeBrie back to pass. Looking for the down and out. And is caught by Gustafson for a Wolverine first down. And you can see some things that have been added to this offense with that open week last week.
Yeah, they're throwing a little bit more, and I'll tell you, they seem to be doing it a lot more efficiently. Gustafson, on a quick slant on the inside, getting just in front of the linebackers, and had to fight through them, but was able to bring that down.
1st and 10 out to the 42-yard line. Plenty of time. First half clock at 4:15. The Wolverines and Coach DiDonato with all 3 timeouts. LeBrie takes the snap, fakes to Schools. Rolling out, stepping into his throw. Receiver comes back to it. Gustafson makes the catch. Another first down on a good toe tap. And he'll go out of bounds near the 42-yard line.
Yeah, offensive line doing a fantastic job. Gustafson doing an even better job coming back to the ball, getting to the sideline. And again, when you have that much time, it's so much easier. And you just see the maturity and the development of this team. It's fun to watch.
1st and 10 out to the 42-yard line. Checking with the sidelines. Play clock down under 15 seconds. Takes the snap, gives it to Schools, running middle, through the pile and across the 40 and down to the 39-yard line. Good hard running right up the middle for Wesley Schools.
Yeah, and he gets this ball and he runs into these piles. You think he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but he gets low and drives those legs and ends up picking up 2 or 3 yards on a play that maybe should have had no gain.
2nd and 3. Or 2nd and 7 after a gain of 3. First half clock approaching 3 minutes to play. LeBrie takes the snap, fakes to Schools, clean pocket. Now feeling some backside pressure, rolling out, avoids the defender, looks downfield, fires downfield, and the pass incomplete, skipping short of the receiver at the 20-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Ball hit the ground. 3rd down.
LeBrie showing some amazing mobility in the backfield there. As he was under pressure, but I think that player is now looking for his ankles because he did a great job.
Nick Fickles, the senior defensive tackle, a little slow to get up, and both teams will go to their sidelines, and an opportunity for the Wolverines to see what they want to do here on 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, it's a free timeout, so you're going to get an opportunity to take a look, talk to your quarterbacks, and I'll tell you right now, a lot of times it's see what they feel comfortable with, what they think they can do. And up to this point, Grove City's been able to do whatever they want in terms of pass and run. So, the sky's kind of the limit for them right now.
2:51 to play here in today's first half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll have the Wolverine Marching Band first half numbers. Nick Fickles now up under his own power, making the walk across to the far sidelines. Rain has continued throughout the game. Really has never picked up much in intensity. but it's been just a continuous rain all first half.
Yeah, it's been consistent, and I think LeBray had a little bit of trouble initially throwing the ball, but as the game's gone on, I've seen him pick up that zip on the ball, and it's made for a great passing game today.
3rd and 7 at the Geneva 39-yard line. Empty backfield, 5 receivers in the formation. LeBray firing at Gustafson, and that pass just sailed on him at the 30-yard line. It went out of bounds and incomplete. Try to unload that quickly, and the ball just kind of took off.
Yeah, the receiver never got to finish running his pattern. Geneva sent 6 players on a blitz and left 5 back in coverage here, so not a whole lot of time to throw, and he had to throw off his back foot. And one of the few passes that were questionable today, besides that interception. So he said LeBray's had a good day so far.
Break to punt. Freshman will come on the field to punt for the first time, averaging 38 with a long of 53. High kick that's going to hit, take a big bounce. Wolverines tried to bat it back, but could not as it touches down in the end zone for the touchback.
Yeah, so many Wolverine players in one area, they just couldn't get to the ball. But a great punt, not a bad one there, would have pinned them back. But the Grove City defense has been playing so well coming out to the 20-yard line, I don't think they're going to worry much about.
2:40 to play here in the first half. Geneva will get the football back. Their score coming on the long touchdown run by senior quarterback Brian Stafford.
Yeah, that's pretty much been the extent of Geneva today.
Stafford goes under center. Marshall, the fullback. Going to give it to Marshall this time, bouncing it out across the 30. And then Patrick Mark hammers it down at the 30-yard line. Freshman has been a huge addition to this defense this year.
Yeah, you can see a big impact on that play. Juwan Marshall even got up and pointed him, kind of saying, nice hit. So showing respect for that young guy.
Out to the 31-yard line, 1st down and 10. Marshall's going to get it this time, stood up at the line of scrimmage and might have been able to push forward for about a yard. It'll bring up 2nd and long.
And sometimes in a formation or an offense like this, you're going to have some trouble with the reads. But I've seen 2 or 3 times where Geneva, it looks like the quarterback and the running back aren't on the same page. And the quarterback's trying to pull the ball and they're trying to run it. So a little miscommunication maybe on some of these.
2nd and 9 at the 32. Toss it out to the outside. That's Kendrick turning the corner. And he's going to get across the 40 and have a 1st down. They're going to say spot him out back at the 39. So it's going to be about a yard shy of that 1st down.
Colin Kendrick's a big back, 6'2", 225. He's coming up against Conto, 5'8", 180. Conto having some trouble bringing him down, although he's in great position to do so. But he's going to have to get a little bit lower and take those legs out because that's a big running back.
3rd down and 2. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Fake to Marshall. Toss it outside. Kendrick going to get the football, turn it upfield, and have a Golden Tornado 1st down. Gets out of bounds to stop the clock at 1:38.
Yeah, Kendrick again, 6'2", 225, but showing some speed on that, getting on the outside, able to beat the contain, bringing up a 1st down for Geneva.
He is the biggest of all of the running backs that see action for Geneva in their regular rotation.
Yeah, and you can see the secondary of Grove City's having trouble with him.
Fake to Marshall. Going to toss it to the wing back, and he is hit and hammered down. That's Jackson there to lead the way, along with Jazzcar.
Yeah, Daniel Jackson doing a great job. The Geneva quarterback kind of hesitated. Sweeney didn't. I think he wanted to keep it, but at the last second changed his mind and pitched that ball way back in the backfield. And that was a bad setup for Geneva as they're going to lose big yards.
So loss of 5 brings up 2nd and 15 with a minute to play in this first half. You wouldn't expect Geneva to be too aggressive here.
No, at 2nd and 15, again, the playbook's pretty narrow.
Receivers to each side. Kendrick going to go in motion. Quarterback's going to keep it, bounce it outside across the 50, 45, 40, across the 30 before being knocked out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Stafford on the run.
Yeah, Taylor on a great read there. Unfortunately, just some bad tackling on that particular play opened up the lane, and that's going to be a big 1st down, setting up Geneva well inside the Grove City 40-yard line.
Stafford, the senior quarterback, has their touchdown here in the first half. Continues to put up some big numbers running the football. He is the leading rushing quarterback in the conference. Fake it to Marshall. Stafford's going to keep it and be pulled down by Seifert from behind, shy of the 20-yard line.
I don't think Stafford felt...
Timeout. Timeout. Geneva. First choice timeout of the half.
I don't think Stafford felt that pressure coming from behind him. Might have been able to pick up a few more yards, but he was trying to read his blocks. And I believe that was going to be Andrew Seifert came up behind him, was able to bring him down from behind. And that's a situation where they got to start reaching for the ball, too.
Geneva using their first timeout. Will keep it here with 41 seconds to play in the half. And a fast-moving first half where, for the most part, both teams content to keep the football on the ground.
Yeah, and I don't think that was anything odd or anything we didn't expect. However, with the weather, I'm surprised to see Grove City throwing as much as they have and as successful as they've been with it. Their receiving corps for the last, how many games have stepped up, done a great job, making great athletic plays.
It is Grove City 3, Westminster 0.
Second down and 5.
5 for Geneva. The ball's at the Grove City 21.
At the Grove City 21-yard line. 41 seconds to play here in the half. Grove City with a 13-7 lead. Stafford under center, sends the man in motion. He's going to keep the football, try and now pitch it to Kendrick. Turned the corner, avoided one defender, and then Seifert there to push him out of bounds.
Kendrick on the run.
Yeah, they got outside that left side. Frankie Senafani from Geneva did a great job on the blocking. Went low on some of the on a cornerback out there. Was able just to get enough time to break that contain and get that first down.
So 1st and 10 at the Grove City 15-yard line with 35 seconds to play in the half. One receiver to the right, now one to the left side. Stafford under center, wingman goes in motion, gonna give it to Marshall. Marshall gonna be hit at the 10-yard line and then driven back. Good team tackling there to make the contact with Marshall and then stop his forward momentum.
Timeout. Geneva, second charge, timeout of the half.
Carlos Jasper coming from an outside linebacker position to the inside, making that initial contact. And he put a shot on him, so those running backs know this is a physical defense.
29 seconds to play in the half. We'll step away. Grove City 13, Geneva 7. Back after this quick break on WSAJ.
Hi, I'm College President Paul McNulty. Grove City College is committed to being the best Christian liberal arts college in America. We are committed to providing an academically excellent, Christ-centered learning and living experience. We are committed to equipping students to pursue their unique callings. We are committed to developing leaders of the highest proficiency, purpose, and principles. We are committed to the promotion of the Christian worldview, the foundations of free society, and the love of neighbor. Visit gcc.edu.
Rain continuing to fall here at Robert E. Thorne Field as Geneva now left with one timeout. It'll be second and just about 8 to go. Stafford going to go under center. Marshall remains the fullback, wings to his right and left. Stafford lost the ball on the turf. Wolverines trying to dive on this loose football, and they have. They've stopped the Golden Tornadoes. A little miscommunication inside on that handoff, and the Wolverines have come out of the pile with the football.
Yeah, I think it was Caleb Allen to come up with the ball.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by Grove City. First down.
Yeah, he just stepped down from his defensive end position and was able to strip the ball out. It didn't look like it was very secure, and that's going to be another turnover for Grove City going into the half. That's a big play. You're going to go into halftime up 13-7.
25 seconds to play in the half. 13-7, Wolverines with the lead. Just snap the ball to Labrie, and he'll just take a knee. And that will do it here in today's first half. Both teams will dry off, head to the locker room, and we'll take a break and come back with the halftime show. At the break, it is Grove City 13, Geneva 7 on the home of the Wolverines, 91.1 WSAJ.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. and that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Halftime here at Robert E. Thorne Field as the Wolverines holding a 13-7 lead. And between weather and turnovers, those have been the factors here in the first half, Jim.
Yeah, and we've talked about that in pregame. And Geneva's known to put the ball on the turf. They've done it 3 times today, and then also had a blocked punt. So they're now -2 in the turnover area. Grove City taking advantage of a couple of those. So you can see the development of them. When they start doing that, they start getting those opportunities and capitalizing on them. You know, you start to expect good things. You start to expect bigger things from this team.
So here at the half at Robert E. Thorne Field, we will send it down to the field. And for your halftime entertainment here on WSAJ, it is the Grove City College Marching Band.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Grove City College Wolverine Marching Band performance. The Marching Wolverines comprise the largest student organization on campus and are excited to perform for you today. The band will explode with a powerful Spanish arrangement by Jay Dawson. Please hold on to your hats as the band gets ready to perform Estancia. we perform a tune made famous by the American rock band Fall Out Boy. This arrangement, hailed as a sports anthem for our time, is nothing short of bombastic. Featuring trumpet duo David Jeffries and Christopher Wallard, we invite you to experience the uncompromising sound of the Grove City College Marching Wolverines as we get ready to light 'em up. Our next selection features all of our standout groups, including our Silk Line, Majorettes, and Dance Line. Made popular by Enrique Iglesias, this chart-topping tune includes rhythms from Lionel Richie's All Night Long. Feel free to dance, sing, and clap along with the Grove City College Marching Wolverines as they perform the hit single, I Like It. This year marks the 500th anniversary of the Reformation. To celebrate this momentous event, the band will perform what is certainly one of the most well-known hymn tunes of all time. The band thanks you for your unwavering support of music and closes out their performance with a beautiful and stunning arrangement by Roland Barrett, A Mighty Fortress. begin your 2017 edition of the Grove City College Wolverine Marching Band.
Here at halftime, as the Wolverines lead Geneva by a score of 13-7. That is the Wolverine Marching Band. We'll step aside for a break, come back, look at the first half numbers, we'll get you set for the second half as the Wolverines lead Geneva 13-7 here at halftime on the home of the Wolverines, 91.1 WSAJ.
My name is Bobby. I'm a veteran and lost my leg to a roadside bomb. My victory was going from a wheelchair to becoming a weightlifting champion.
I'm Sam. I'm a veteran. My victory was finding a career I can be proud of and supporting my family.
America's veterans are on their most important tour, the tour of their lives.
I'm a veteran. My victory was going from homeless to home.
At DAV, we're on a mission to help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
I'm a veteran, and my victory was finishing my education.
DAV offers veterans of all generations a lifetime of support for victories great and small.
My victory was proving that disability is not a limitation.
My victory was getting my service dog a new best friend.
We help more than 1 million veterans every year as they face and conquer their challenges.
My victory is being able to be there for my family.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Josh Groban. After so many years on the stage, one of my favorite things about music is its ability to inspire and nourish the soul. That's why I'm proud to work with Feeding America, an organization that inspires hope for families in need and helps nourish the 16 million kids in this country struggling with hunger. Every year, billions of pounds of excess food go to waste, while 1 in 5 children may be left not knowing where their next meal is coming from, or if it's even coming at all. Thankfully, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks collects surplus food and helps deliver it to kids in need across the country. But they can't do it alone. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey, there he is. How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand or what?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you okay?
I'm having a stroke.
Your face looks weird too.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you having a seizure or something?
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear.
I'm having a stroke.
You just need to know the sudden signs. Look for FAST, F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. Or S, speech difficulty. Then T, time. Time to call 911 immediately, because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Know the sudden signs. Face, arm, speech, time. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Halftime continues here at Robert E. Thorne Field. Mark Means, Jim Craven with you today. Wolverines with a 13-7 lead. You look at some of the individual numbers first, Jim. for the visiting Golden Tornadoes of Geneva. Brian Stafford, their quarterback, leading the way, 7 carries, 108 yards. They've done a good job containing Teron Marshall, 7 carries, just 26 yards.
Yeah, Stafford's been the key there, and those have just been, most of those have been big plays where they've either lost contain or lost discipline on assignments. But overall have done a great job with Marshall. That was the one they had to key on. And, now turnovers is the next issue for them.
I don't know if I've ever seen no completions, no attempts for a quarterback in the first half, but they have yet to attempt a pass so far here in the first half. For the Wolverines, Wesley Schools, 20 first half carries, already up over 100 yards. That'll make it the 5th consecutive game for the sophomore. A pair of touchdowns and averaging 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, rack up another 100-yard game for Schools. And I'll tell you, he doesn't do anything fancy. This Wolverine offense is, played between the tackles for the most part. They're powering the ball downfield. Again, he shows speed, strength. He's the full package.
You look at that last scoring drive, LeBrie started to run the football more. He's averaging over 7 yards a carry. You wonder if maybe his running the ball may be the difference maker here in the second half.
Oh, certainly it will be. Those are big yards that he's picking up and first downs that he's picking up. And he has great vision. He's looking downfield. He's seeing the openings. And when there's no openings in the secondary, he's not afraid to run the ball.
So not only is this offensive line doing a great job blocking for Wesley Schools, but they have not given up a sack in the first half. They've kept Randall LeBrie pretty clean in the first half, 6 of 11, 61 yards. Just have that one interception. Matt Pennypacker is 0 of 1. So first half grade for that offensive line is very high.
Oh, I tell you, they played fantastic. I think you or I could sit in that pocket back there and throw passes all day. Not much pressure back there. And Geneva, you can see, are sending 5 to 6 players at a time and going into man coverage in the secondary.
Wolverines leading in total yards, 206 to 149, leading in time of possession, 18-19 to 11-41. But the two numbers that really stand out to both of us, 4 of 6 on third down and 2 of 2 in the red zone are the Wolverines.
That's just complete efficiency. You're 4 of 6 and probably should have been 5 of 6 at some point. And then you're getting your opportunities inside the red zone and you're at 100%. Again, now we've seen Grove City do this during the season. They've played fantastic first halves. I want to see them finish this second half and play just as efficient.
Geneva, the opposite, 2 of 6 on third down and 0 of 1 in the red zone. And we are ready for the third quarter to get underway. Caleb Brake will kick, and Geneva will get the football to start this third quarter. 2 men back deep, right around their own 10-yard line. And we are underway here in this afternoon's third quarter. Deep kick, drives the returner back to the 3. Back to the field, turns around across the 15, 20. And he's going to be knocked down shy of the 20-yard line. That is Cullen Sweeney on the return, the freshman quarterback from Lisbon, Ohio. So we've got a former Springfield Tiger and a former Lisbon Blue Devil.
Yeah, and Sweeney, we covered him and his brother at Lisbon there, who's still there. I believe he's a senior this year. So it's great to see these local guys out here doing a great job. And great, again, special teams coverage by Grove City. Coming down there, staying in their lane, staying disciplined, and holding Geneva inside the 20.
First and 10 at the 19. Just underway, third quarter. Golden Tornadoes left to right here in the third. Stafford under center. Man goes in motion. Stafford looks like he'll keep it, try to turn it upfield, and he's going to get maybe 1 on the play, bring up 2nd and 9.
Stafford on the right. Grove City did a great job of flowing to the point of attack on that. You can see they're reading the motion man very well now. Again, they're going to have to watch that counter, but they're winning the battle up front. It's quite impressive. This front line of Grove City on their defense has just been outstanding as far as we've seen this year.
2nd and 8 at the 21-yard line. They officially gave him 2 yards. Coslow, the receiver in the formation. Man going to go in motion, give it to the fullback, and he hammers forward and gets knocked down just shy of the 30-yard line. Bring up third down. Leading tacklers in the first half for the Wolverines, Ethan Conto with 9, Carl Jaskar with 5, Dion Miner with 4, Cam Haley, 3 tackles and a sack for Cam Haley.
Conto responsible for that option outside. He's been right there.
Third down and 1 for the Golden Tornadoes. Going to give it to the fullback, hits the pile, and they'll pull it back as keeping the ball is Stafford, and they'll have a first down across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, and again, Grove City was right there, just not wrapping up on the tackles. And that's the problem they've had on defense. What few problems they have had have included just not wrapping up and stopping them at initial contact.
So 1st and 10 for Geneva at their 41-yard line. Play clock down under 15 seconds. Man goes in motion, pitch to the outside, juggle the pitch, and he's going to be thrown down once again. A big play defensively coming up from Patrick Mark as he throws the ball carrier Frank Sinofani down for a big loss.
Yeah, Stafford was under big-time pressure trying to run that option. Not a very good pitch. It was way behind the running back. He had to stop and to adjust to that. Patrick Mark just coming up and making a textbook tackle. Huge play on first down for Grove City.
Loss of 6 on the play brings up 2nd and 16 back to the 35-yard line where you want to put this offense behind the chains.
Yeah, 2 for 6 today on 3rd down. Not playing very well there.
2nd and 16. Man goes in motion. Give it to the fullback. Breaks free across the 50, 45, 40, and down near the 35-yard line is Trewan Marshall. And they get out of the 2nd and long and are into Wolverine territory.
Yeah, Marshall, for the most part, quiet in the first half. Was able to break that run a little bit and didn't look like he quite had his feet. Had he had a good firm grip on the ground there, he may have gone all the way.
Down to the Wolverine 37-yard line, 1st down and 10. Marshall held at just 26 yards in the first half. Coslow, the receiver, joined by another to the right side. Man will go in motion. Stafford going to keep it, and he is upended by Ethan Conto as he crosses the 35-yard line.
Stafford on the right.
Yeah, Stafford electing to keep that ball going to the right side there, leaving his feet, and I'm not sure that the coaching staff over there for Geneva is going to be real happy about that. That's a pretty dangerous thing for a quarterback.
They'll pick up 4. It's 2nd down and 6 to the 33-yard line. 11:30 to play, 3rd quarter, 13-7. Grove City with the 6-point lead. Geneva with the football. Man will go in motion. They're going to give it to the fullback again. That's Marshall, and he'll fall forward across the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, and I'm sure they want to get Marshall going into the second half. Grove City did a great job of keeping him bottled up through the first and second quarter. It seems like they want to get to him now, maybe get him moving, start chipping away at this.
So it's 3rd down and 2 at the 29-yard line. Stafford under center, wings to each side. Marshall, the fullback. It's going to be hit and knocked down short of the line to gain. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 3.5 to go. Dion Miner, the senior linebacker, there for the stop.
Yeah, it looked like he was shot out of a cannon. They barely got the snap off. And had he been a half a second earlier, he may have taken the snap himself.
So it'll be 4th and 4, and the Golden Tornadoes will leave the defense on the sidelines, keep the offense out there. Bring 2 receivers to the right. Wings to each side. Marshall remains the fullback. Stafford underneath. Going to give the ball to Marshall. He'll fall forward, but he's going to be shy of the 1st down. And the Wolverine defense gets a big stop and the football back with 10:01 to play here, 3rd quarter.
Yeah, another huge play by that Grove City defense. They've relied on them all day. They've done a great job. But again, this was a situation for Geneva where Stafford and his running back seemed to have some confusion.
Both of these teams came into play today in the conference at 2-3. Wolverines will take over on downs at the 29-yard line. Toss to Schools, running off the right side across the 35 and out near the 37-yard line. And again, a good gain on 1st down for the Wolverine offense.
Yeah, they're focusing on Labrie with that ball. Schools is kind of sliding out to the right. He's already on the outside. Once he gets that ball, it's a straight run upfield. And he's so patient following those blockers. Finds great lanes, putting him in a great 2nd and 1 situation.
Gain of 9. 2nd down and 1. Labrie checking with the sidelines. Play clock down to 15 seconds. Three receivers in the formation. Schools the tailback. Labrie takes the snap, gives it to Schools, bounces it to the outside, spins across the 45, down to the 47, and that'll be a Wolverine first down.
Schools continues to churn away those yards, and I think he's going to owe a steak dinner to Dalton Callahan tonight, who's been just pushing that Geneva defensive line around on that right side.
So first and 10 out to the 47-yard line. Under 9 minutes to play here, third quarter. 13-7 Wolverines. Play fake. Labrie's got the football. Try to avoid the defenders. Rolling out, firing downfield. Gustafson comes back to the ball, makes a nice catch at the 40, and drives down to the 38-yard line. Second time we've seen the freshman have great field awareness, come back to his quarterback and make a play.
Yeah, and it's something that's so it's hard to teach the receivers, and when they do that, it's so helpful to the quarterback. Labrie running around in the backfield, doing a great job stepping up in the pocket and getting that ball away.
38th catch, team leading 38th catch on the year for Gustafson. Schools now move to the right side of Labrie. Reppert on a wing to the left. Two receivers left. High snap, pulls it down, gives it to Schools, and he'll lower the shoulder, push the pile across the 35 down to the 34-yard line.
Schools on the run, brought down by 94.
And again, he picked up about 4 yards. That high snap is completely throwing the timing off to it, because if Schools gets that ball just a quarter second quicker, he's going to get upfield a lot faster, maybe pick up some extra yards.
And a 4. It is 2nd and 6 at the Geneva 34-yard line. Two receivers to the right side, one to the left. Labrie going to run that option. Got initially hit in the backfield, broke free, and got back near the line of scrimmage, and it will bring up third down and close to 5.
They pulled Reppert to the right side that time and then ran to the left. And you can see the big difference in how much they rely on him for his blocking. That time, Geneva just read the play well, came up. Should have been a big loss, but Labrie able to make something pretty much out of nothing.
Reppert played his high school ball right here at Grove City High School, played offensive line, then moved to fullback, H-back, here at Grove City College. Labrie, play fake, step it up, looking downfield, looking for Gustafson, and the underthrown pass is knocked away and incomplete at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and we've seen that on and off in the game today, where Labrie has a little bit of trouble getting that ball off. Like I said, could be the weather, could be just that it's colder. He's having a little trouble, but no zip on that ball, underthrew it, and luckily avoided the interception on that one.
Reppert to the sidelines. Cameron Drake, the freshman receiver from Monaca in Central Valley High School, will check in on 4th and 5. So it is Gustafson out there with Drake and Grieco to the right side. Penny Packer alone to the left. Labrie, plenty of time in the pocket, rolling to the right side, eyes downfield. He's going to be hit from behind and thrown down all the way back near the 45-yard line. And the Golden Tornadoes will take over at their own 45.
And that's going to be a coverage sack for Geneva. There was nobody open in the secondary. Labrie did everything he could to create some more time. The offensive line did a great job. You're looking at a play that was probably 7 or 8 seconds, which is probably 4 or 5 seconds longer than he should have held that ball. But a big play by Geneva.
First sack of the afternoon for the Geneva defense. They'll take over, spot the ball officially at the 44-yard line. Stafford, the quarterback, wings to his right and left. Marshall is the fullback. Man in motion. Stafford's going to keep it, turn upfield across the 50 and into Wolverine territory at the 48-yard line. He'll pick up close to 8 on first down.
Yeah, you can see Stafford's not afraid to run that ball. He's going to run it right up the middle. He's as big as a back, too. So it's a difficult offense to defend, and it's even better when they're on the same page and they're not having that confusion on the reads.
2nd and 2. 6.5 minutes to play, third quarter. Grove City 13, Geneva 7. One wing now to the right side. Two receivers that way. Stafford, play fake, looking to throw. Hit by Minor, and then help from Conto. And also in there, Quentin Reed to make the sack on the play.
Yeah, that's one sight you don't want to see. That's 3 big hitters coming right at you. And he was lucky just to be able to hold on to that ball. So kudos for Stafford for sticking in there.
Nice team sack as they were able to get Stafford for the loss, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 10. Ball back at the 44-yard line. 2 receivers right. 3 backs in the backfield, wings to each side. The fullback is Marshall. Stafford gives the ball, now pulls it back, and he's going to be hit back near the 41-yard line. This will bring up 4th down and long, and the Wolverine defense good staying home and reading their keys.
Yeah, doing a great job. It looks like Stafford and Marshall were having a little conversation after that. Again, some confusion on these reads. Who's going to keep the ball? And it looks like when Stafford's trying to pull it, it looks like Marshall doesn't want to give it up.
So the Golden Tornadoes will punt. Ross back deep at his own 25-yard line.
Ross deep.
Looping snap back to him. Gets away the high end-over-end kick. Ross is going to back away from it, let it roll, and it will take a Geneva roll inside the 20 and down to the 19-yard line. So another big stop for this Wolverine defense.
And they've stood in there. They've done everything that's been asked from them. The offense is now going to have to help them out and put up a few more points because the game is certainly not out of hand. There's a ton of time left in this game.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line for the Wolverines with 4:49 to play, 3rd quarter. We've had no scoring here in the second half so far. Grove City 13 and Geneva 7. LeBrie out of the pistol, runs that option, tosses to Schools, trying to turn the corner. It'll be pushed out of bounds after a short gain, and defender did a good job to use the boundary as an extra defender.
Yeah, Austin Jacobson did a great job stringing that out, getting it to the sideline. Didn't over-pursue it, played it very basic, and was able to just hold him down to about a 1-yard gain.
2nd and 9, ball at the 20-yard line. Play clock down to 20. LeBrie overlooks the defense. Now he'll check with the sidelines. With 4:20 to play in the 3rd quarter, and the Wolverines a 6-point lead at 13-7. LeBrie back to pass, fires for Drake, makes the catch, turns it upfield, and will go out of bounds near the 30-yard line. And looks to have a Wolverine first down.
To Drake, out of bounds at the 29.
It's great to see how balanced Grove City has become with this run and pass. They're doing both very well. Just need to avoid the turnovers. And this is a very, very solid offense.
Drake makes his 2nd catch of the afternoon. Freshman will have a pair. We approach 4 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. LeBrie has 1 receiver to the right. Trips to the left side. Schools to his left. Give it to Schools, running middle. And Schools is stood up right at the 30-yard line for no gain. It's 2nd down and 10.
Short gain on the play.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Torn Salas on that tackle.
30.
Filled the gap there with a great hit. And even Schools at that point is going to lose that battle. Salas a little bit bigger, going up against a 6', 225-pound linebacker.
So it is 2nd down and along 9 with 3:20 to play, 3rd quarter. Ruppert on a wing will now go in motion to the right side. LeBrie back to pass, firing, looking for Grieco, deflected, tipped in the air, and the pass hits the ground, incomplete. Grieco almost tipped that ball to himself, but the incompletion brings up 3rd and 9.
Grieco again on that slant pass, and these receivers have almost made several circus catches today. It's amazing the concentration they keep on it, and the defenders also sticking with it.
So 3rd and 9 at the 30-yard line. Gustafson and Drake go to the right side. Penny Packer and Grieco to the left. LeBrie back to pass, 5-step drop, stands in, fires middle. Drake makes the catch at the 45-yard line, then the ball is jarred loose and incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that would have been a great catch. He was stuck with it. He was right in the middle there. He knew he was going to take a shot. Unfortunately, Colin Kendrick came up and was able to jar that ball loose from him.
So that will bring Drake on to punt the football away. And Jared Hogue is back deep to return this kick.
Shively deep.
Snap, kick is away by Brake. Just going to let this ball roll Shively lets it roll all the way inside the 20, inside the 15-yard line. It'll come to a stop at the 14-yard line. Great punt by the freshman Brake.
Yeah, they were in a big beneficial role for him, too. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's the second time that Grove City's punted today.
Brake's punt to the 14-yard line. It is a 56-yard punt. Geneva takes
that 56-yard punt, as you hear out of the crowd, Mike, as Brake's long for his freshman year, breaking his previous high of 53.
Yeah, and that's huge when you're that far down on your side of the field. So a great job by by special teams from Grove City.
So 1st and 10, Geneva. Loose ball on the turf, pile up for it at the 15-yard line. Wolverines think they've got the football. And they have another turnover forced by this defense. And the Wolverines will have the ball right at the Geneva 15-yard line.
And I don't know what else you could ask from this Grove City defense. They've done everything they possibly can to set up the offense. It's now time for the offense to step up and do what they need to do to put some points up.
2:39 to play, third quarter. 13-7, Wolverines with the lead, looking to expand on that. Gustafson, that's Cody Gustafson to the right. Rico, Pennypacker, the 3 receivers. Schools, the tailback. He's going to get it. Hesitation up the middle, inside the 15 and down near the 10-yard line.
Schools on the run.
They'll spot him at the 11, gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Gain of 4.
And for every turnover that Grove City gets, their percentage of possibility of winning goes up. And again, the defense doing such a great job. Schools on that run. You can see how strong he is from the waist down, as he was dragging players, holding on to his legs. So again, you can't say enough about him. And even the receivers have done a great job just standing in there today, taking their shots.
2nd and 6. Ball at the Geneva 11-yard line. Labrie again out of the pistol. Schools is the tailback. Gonna run the option. Pitch it to Schools inside the 10, inside the 5, and dives down near the 2-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Wolverines.
That's a textbook execution of an option. Labrie saw there was no opening there, got the ball out in a perfect position. Schools able to get down inside the 2-yard line.
So Wesley Schools gets the ball 1st and goal inside to that 2-yard line.
And Grove City's going to bring in an extra lineman. I believe that's going to be number 56, Kyle Turner.
So they will bring in the Wham package, some extra size up front. Receiver goes in motion, also into the backfield to help block. Give it to Schools, searching for the end zone, and into the end zone for the 3rd time this afternoon. And that is touchdown number 10 on the year for the sophomore running back.
A fantastic push by the Grove City offensive line. You could see the motion, you could see the wave just go into the end zone. Again, they brought in that extra lineman. They brought in Kyle Turner, the freshman offensive tackle. He's 6'4", 220 as a freshman, and did a great job just getting a strong push and leading Schools right into the end zone.
Schools' 3rd rushing touchdown of the evening. Causer now on for the extra point. High snap. They get it down. Kick all the way. And the extra point is again no good. Outside of the right upright. 1:16 to play, 3rd quarter. Grove City 19 and Geneva 7 on the home of the Wolverines, 91-1 WSAJ.
Ranger Station.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to report a bear sighting in the forest. 1 second, I'm having a smoke. Next thing I know, I'm face-to-face with Smokey Bear.
Wow.
And he told me it only takes 1 spark to start a wildfire.
Did you know 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans?
I had no idea.
That's why Smokey's famous and you're not. If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
So Wesley Schools matches his career high that he set at St. Vincent last year with his 200-yard rushing game, 236 yards. He now has 3 touchdowns again this afternoon.
And he is earning his keep. And I'll tell you, I can't say enough about this offensive line. They've done a great job in the run game, in the pass game, pulling and doing everything else. This is a solid team to build around.
Kick by Brake, fielded at the 6, across the 10, outside 15, 20, 25, across the 30. and then piled up at the 32-yard line, and then it's where Geneva will have the football. And you take this offense that hasn't attempted a pass in the first half, and you put them down by 12 at the latter stages of the third quarter, you're going to have to start throwing the football a little bit here.
Yeah, and certainly it doesn't appear that they're comfortable in that situation. You're down by 12. You're going to have to put the ball downfield quicker than just on these runs, but they seem to be determined to stay in this offense, and it's what's worked for them all season long.
Stafford under center on 1st and 10. Man goes in motion. They're going to give it to the fullback, Marshall, and Marshall falls down to the 35-yard line for about a 4-yard gain.
You know, and when you're running an offense like this and it's so one-dimensional, you would think it would almost become easier to defend. And Grove City's done a great job with it, with the exception of 2 or 3 big plays. You know, you can't get lulled to sleep now. As you see, now you got 2 receivers out there.
2 receivers go to the left, wings to the right and left. Marshall, the fullback, man will go in motion. Stafford gives it to Marshall. Took a pounding after handing it off as well, and ball down to the 38-yard line, but it's going to bring up 3rd down again for Geneva.
And as Grove City starts to develop, you start to see a little bit of an identity from them. And their identity right now is being a physical team and an athletic team. And that's really hard to stop. They're giving Geneva fits on this offense, a team that is, you know, with one back that's run for 1,200 yards. And Grove City slowed them down.
3rd down and 3. Quarterback Randall Labrie hopping up and down, trying to inspire his defense. And now we have a whistle.
That is the end of the third
and
quarter.
that will bring us to the end of 3. After 3, Grove City 19, Geneva 7 on the home of the Wolverines, 91-1 WSAJ.
Hey, is that a faucet running?
Nope, that's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest.
It is?
Yeah, forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. The water comes straight from the forest to us. In fact...
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
How do trees clean the air?
They soak up the dirty air on their leaves, branches, and trunks, which means clean air for us.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yep, but the forest does more than give us clean air and water. It gives us shade for hot days, birds to listen to, and trees to climb.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know how cool the forest could be. Hey, let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Final 15 of this one put up on the scoreboard, 19-7. Grove City with the 12-point lead. Geneva facing a 3rd down and a long 3 after the end of the quarter, now going right to left. Stafford under center. Wings to his right and left. Movement up front. Here comes the flag.
False start.
And 3rd and 3 just became 3rd and 8, and much more difficult for Geneva to convert, and they are 3 of 9 facing their 10th 3rd down conversion attempt.
Yeah, and I guess this is going to be their first penalty of the game. So impressive discipline for Geneva, but bad timing on the flag.
They're talking about 2 of the least penalized teams in the conference, and it shows with now 2 penalties accepted in this game.
Yeah, and you can see how fast the game's going when you don't have those penalties and those stoppages. You get a pretty fluid game.
3rd down and 8. 2 receivers go to the right side. Stafford under center, wings to the right and left. Marshall, the fullback. Man will go in motion, toss it to him, try and turn the corner, and he's going to be knocked down back at the 30-yard line. No chance for the ball carrier that time, Senafani, to turn upfield, and it brings up 4th down, and the Golden Tornadoes will punt.
And this is what happens when your offense is so one-dimensional. Grove City has something to focus on solely, and I'll tell you, there was probably 6 red shirts in his face, and there was nowhere for him to go.
Ross is standing back at his own 35-yard line.
Lloyd to punt.
Luke Lloyd will handle the punting. Snap to him, turns the ball over, gets the kick away. High, wobbly, end over end. Ross calls for and makes the fair catch. right about the 32-yard line. 14-15 to play here, fourth quarter. Wolverines have a 19-7 lead, Jim, and the ball back.
Yeah, and right now I'm on pass watch. Can Geneva go an entire game without throwing a pass? And if they don't, is that hurting them? At what point do they start taking some chances down by 12 points?
Wesley Schools through 3 quarters, 28 carries, 140 yards, 3 touchdowns. His 5th straight 100-yard rushing game. 1st and 10 at the 32. Schools going to get it again, running up the middle, pushing the pile forward out to the 35-yard line. He'll pick up about 3 and bring up 2nd down.
And, keeping in mind, Schools is only a sophomore. 2 more years of eligibility for him to develop. And, there's possibility maybe you can see him at another level when he leaves Grove City.
2nd and 7 for
Look
Grove
at
City
the freshman year for Wesley Schools. 903 yards, averaged just over 4 yards a carry, and 7 touchdowns.
Well, there's definitely been no sophomore slump for him as he has been racking it up.
2nd down and 7 at the 35. LeBrie tossed to Schools, hesitates, looking for a block to turn the corner across the 40, and he'll go out of bounds right before the 45-yard line, and that will be a Wolverine first down.
Again, great execution by Grove City. However, Geneva had great pursuit on that play side, and I thought he was going to be brought down in the backfield, but kicked in that next gear.
That was Schools' 30th carry of the day.
Yeah, and that's a workhorse right there. We're only into the fourth quarter. The early stages of the fourth quarter. This game's not out of hand yet, so you're going to see a lot more Schools. Probably not a good thing for Geneva.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Schools on his 31st carry across the 50, bounces outside, 45-40, 35, and out of bounds near the 33-yard line. Wesley Schools with another huge run for the sophomore running back.
Brought down by Hogue.
And Cody Gustafson doing a great job. He was split out on the right side there as a receiver, blocking downfield, kept his legs moving, and Schools had all day and pretty much anywhere he wanted to go downfield.
Offensive line has done an incredible job both in run and pass blocking here this afternoon.
Yeah, with the exception of 1 coverage sack, LeBrie has pretty much been untouched.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. LeBrie again out of the pistol, Repper to wing to the left. Fakes to Schools, fires to Gustafson, pass incomplete at the 25-yard line, and Cody laid out for that one. It was just a little too hot for him and off to his left.
Yeah, that one actually had a lot of zip on it, but he put it in a place where only Gustafson could get it. The defensive back wouldn't have an opportunity to break on it, so a smart throw, just not accurate enough to get it to his receiver.
So 2nd down and 10. Clock stopped on the incompletion at 12:14 to play, 3rd quarter. Wolverines with the ball and a 12-point lead at 19-7 here in the 4th quarter. 2 receivers left, 1 right. LeBrie going to keep it across the 30, 25, and slides down near the 20-yard line. And that is close to it. Will be another Wolverine first down.
And you can see that was a designed run for LeBrie. He never even looked at Schools that time, just right off the right side between the slot receiver and the tackle. And again, that's going to bring up another first down for Grove City, and they're just chipping away at it.
Down to the 22-yard line for the Wolverines. Penny Packer and Grieco to the left. Cody Gustafson to the right. Reppert on a wing to that same side. Give it to Schools. Hesitates and works his way across the 20 and down near the 17-yard line.
You can see the Geneva defense playing that well. You see Reppert kind of pulling. You had mentioned he was an offensive lineman, but he's coming from that wing spot. He's pulling, and you see the Geneva defense trying to get into his back pocket, but the offensive line are peeling back so well and knocking them off course that this is opening just a ton of plays for Grove City.
2nd and 5 at the 17-yard line with 11 minutes to play in tonight's 4th quarter. LeBrie takes the snap, gives it to Schools, bounces off a defender, then carries him down to the 15-yard line.
Schools on the run, Can on the tackle.
It's going to bring up 3rd down and just about 4 to go.
Third down and 4 at the
short
16.
pickup for Grove City, but they just sent too many defenders for Reppert and crew over there to take out. And a good read by Geneva as they came up, held Grove City just to a minimal gain.
Through 3, the Wolverines at 50%, 4 of 8 on third down conversions. Schools to the left of Labrie. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Labrie going to run that option. Hole opens up, steps up, inside the 5, and into the end zone for the Wolverine touchdown. Great read by the sophomore Labrie to keep the ball and go right up the middle into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, and what he was reading was the left side of the defensive line. That would have been Geneva's right side. Reading that defensive end, came straight upfield, opened up the lane for Labrie, and he took it pretty much all the way down without being touched. But not great tackling by Geneva either.
Randall Labrie, 16-yard touchdown run. Now the break will come on to attempt the extra point. Tyler Gustafson will hold. Line to the right. Snap down, kick on the way, and the extra point this time. Twist no good. And off to the left. 10-13 to play, fourth quarter. Grove City 25, Geneva 7 on the home of the Wolverines, 91-1 WSAJ.
Hi, I'm Matt Kenseth. You don't have to be a race car driver to know that life can be full of drama. Some of it you can't control, like mechanical issues, high winds, and rain delays. But there's some drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
You just need to take that first step and find free classes near you and leave the drama for the racetrack.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
Back on the home of the Wolverines here in Grove City, 91-1 WSAJ. Mark Means, Jim Craven with you today. Hannah and Darren Morton back in our studios of WSAJ. Too many radio stations. As the Wolverines set to kick off, and you can tell this bench is having fun, Jim.
Yeah, and you could see a little bit of change in everybody. I mean, the scores get a little wider now. They're starting to enjoy themselves. Winning becomes as much a habit as anything else.
So break will kick off. 2 men back deep for the Golden Tornadoes. Break gets his foot into it, high end over end kick. He'll run up on it at the 12, across the 15, 20, 25 into the pile and down to the 30-yard line. And that is where Geneva will take over, trailing 25-7 with 10:07 to play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I think we've seen a break in the rain now also, so things are getting a little bit cleaner in terms of plays. But the weather not horrible right now, still a little bit cool. And that Grove City defense coming out, and they've just been stingy all day, bend but don't break.
So 1st and 10 for Geneva. Once again, quarterback going to go up under center, send the man in motion. Give it all that quick handoff, and nothing doing that time. Knocked down right at the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a yard. Is the quarterback Stafford.
Yeah, Jacob Armbrecht coming from his right defensive end position, read the play. It's almost as if they told him what the play was and was almost there for the handoff. So great job of reading, getting down there, and making a great tackle.
Low 40s when we kicked this one off a couple of hours ago, right at 40 right now. So we'll be into the 30s before today's game is over.
Yeah, and I guess that's real fall football then.
2nd and 11 at the 30. Going to toss it to the outside. Colin Kendrick trying to turn the corner. He'll turn it to the 34-yard line, and this will bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, Haley and Conto doing a good job coming up, making the tackle. Having a little trouble containing on the outside, but again, Grove City's defense all day has been bend and don't break. They've held them pretty well inside the 30s.
We'll go under 9 minutes after the snap of the football by the Golden Tornadoes. It is 3rd down and 7 at the 34-yard line. Receivers go to each side this time. Stafford under center. Wingman fakes the motion. Stafford's going to keep it. Just hit the pile. There's no room to run. He'll gain 1. He's going to bring up 4th down and 6.
And it seemed like the entire backfield of Geneva just left the quarterback back there. He had nowhere to go. Grove City with great penetration. And they're going to bring up another 4th down for Geneva.
So that means that the Golden Tornadoes will punt the ball away. Luke Lloyd back to punt. And Jacob Ross standing at his own 33-yard line.
Ross D.
Snap. Lloyd one-hands it, pulls it down. Ross calls for, makes the fair catch, dropped the football, loose ball on the turf. A pile for the ball. The Golden Tornadoes say they've got the football. There is a scrum for possession of that football going on right now as they will unpile and see who comes up with the ball last.
Yeah, and the last person I seen with the ball had a gold jersey on. So we'll see what kind of fight went on under there and who ended up with it. It's amazing how many times that ball changed hands under that pile.
There's still no official indication of who's got the football. Everyone pointing left and right. And Geneva did come up with the football at the bottom of the pile. So the Golden Tornadoes will have the ball at the 34-yard line of Grove City.
The punt was fumbled, recovered by Geneva. 1st down.
Yeah, and it's not the kind of play you want to give Geneva. You don't want to give them any sense of life where you're trying to fight for this game towards the end of it. Only 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. But that's still a lot of time for a Geneva team that's been able to strike big on certain plays.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Receivers to the right and left, wings to the right and left. Toss it back on a little bit of a reverse across the 30, 25, 20, and down near the 18-yard line before being thrown out of bounds. And at the end of that play, Ross was tossed all the way across the white boundary line and all the way over out of bounds, and he is slow to get up.
Yeah, and I've been anticipating that during the game, worrying about the counter coming to the backside, and certainly they caught Grove City off guard that time with plenty of room to run.
Cause low on that end around. Ross being tended to by a couple of his teammates. A little gingerly on an ankle. Toss to the outside. Kendrick trying to turn the corner, and he's going to be hit after a gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Jaskar doing a great job on the read option. Coming up, making the tackle.
Gain of 1.
And they're going to say it's a
2nd
gain of
and
1.
9 at the 17.
I wasn't even sure he got that much.
Coach Theodonato, trainer Rick Hawk, tending Jacob Ross behind the bench. It is 2nd down and 9. Stafford under center, 1 receiver in the formation, wings to each side. Man will go in motion. Tries to turn it upfield, does the quarterback Stafford, and he is hit and knocked down just across the 15-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Conto coming up from a strong safety position. Form tackling, getting into the gut.
2-yard gain to the 15, 3rd and 7.
Stafford there.
For Geneva.
Great tackle. That's not the kind of hit you want your quarterback to be taking. And that's going to bring up 3rd down for him.
So 3rd down and 7 for the Golden Tornadoes. Stafford under center, sends the man in motion. He'll drop back to pass, rolling to the outside, firing downfield. That ball will sail high and incomplete. And there's the first pass attempt with 6:15 to play in the 4th quarter for Geneva.
That's amazing. They've gone over 3.5 quarters without throwing a pass.
4th down for Geneva.
You can see right there, they had a little trouble getting that one off and not very accurate.
So Geneva will keep the offense out there, trailing 25-7 here in the 4th quarter. It'll be 4th down and 7, and we'll see if they elect to throw the ball again.
You know, and that's a lot to ask of Taylor. You go 3.5 quarters, you haven't thrown a pass, all you're doing is handing it off.
Geneva.
And then when you need to, it's tough to get into that rhythm.
6:15 to play, 4th quarter. Grove City 25, Geneva 7. We're back after a quick break on 91.1 WSAJ.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
4th down and 7, and Geneva will send on the field goal kicker, Andrew Dowler, a senior from Land O'Lakes, Florida. And now Grove City is going to use a timeout.
First charge time in the second half.
So if they were to make the field goal, Jim, this would cut it to a 15-point margin. So it would be a two-score margin, but they'd have to convert one 2-point conversion along the way.
Yeah, I find that interesting that he would be willing, with this much time left in the fourth quarter, to kick a field goal.
W&J by 2 points, 60 to 62.
That's
Grove City, the
playing very conservative, to say the least.
Men's cross country.
You just heard that announcement. Grove City barely, but yet winning the PAC title in men's cross country.
So you have big successes with cross country today and soccer.
Huge upset victory for the Wolverine men's cross country team. Congratulations to them. 4th and 7. And Dowler on for the field goal. Wolverines have the box loaded. They're going to try to come after him. Snap low. Dowler low line drive kick is no good. So the Wolverine special teams that blocked a punt earlier forces the field goal miss and will take over with 6:12 to play, leading 25-7.
And I think you're going to see a big dose of schools again as they try to eat this clock up and get out of here with their 3rd win of the season. And again, you see a team that is developing with so much talent, so much great looks for a bright future.
1st and 10 at the 20. 3 receivers in the formation. Schools remains the tailback. Fake to Schools. Labrie going to keep it. Try and turn upfield. And good pursuit defensively by Geneva. It looks like no gain on the play by Labrie as he's forced out of bounds right at the sticks.
Yeah, Geneva doing a good job striking that out. Not giving Labrie any lanes to get upfield.
So now 2nd down and 10 at the 20. 5:50 to play, 4th quarter. Grove City 25 and Geneva 7. Wolverines back home for Senior Day next week against Bethany. Bison came into play this weekend, winless on the year. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Give it to Schools, running up the middle. Schools across the 20. And down to the 23-yard line will bring up 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, you can see the tempo of the Grove City offense has slowed down a little bit. They're still checking out the sideline. However, they're going to watch the play clocks, I'm sure, as they get just to about the 5-minute mark here, or a little bit under 5 by the time they snap the ball.
3rd down and 7.
And for some reason, we actually had looked like the clock stopped for a second, but it is continuing to roll.
Labrie gets the play from the sidelines in Coach DiDonato, and he'll sprint into the huddle. It's 3rd down and 7. We're under 5 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Wolverines quickly come up to the line. Play clock down to 5. Labrie takes the snap. We'll give it to Schools. 2 hands around the football. Schools down to the 25 for being pushed back. So he'll pick up a couple, and it will bring up a 4th down. And it looks like Geneva's going to use one of their timeouts to stop the clock at 4:23 to play.
Timeout.
In the 4th quarter, we'll step aside as well.
Second
It
charge
is Grove
timeout.
City 25, Geneva 7, with 4:23 to play, 4th quarter. On the home of the Wolverines, 91-1 WSAJ.
Please put 4:30 on the clock. 4:30. Thank you.
Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately so does something else, childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Low snap comes bouncing back to Brake, who picks it up, gets away. A nice kick fielded at the 40. and return across the 45 and near the Grove City 40-yard line. So Geneva will have pretty good field position, and a flag comes in late at the end of the play, so high that one of the players on the bench for Geneva caught it on the fly.
Yeah, when that flag goes straight up in the air, that's nothing ever good. And that's probably going to be a 15-yard variety, maybe unsportsmanlike or unnecessary roughness.
Jack Thorne is our referee today with his crew here in the President's Athletic Conference. Down to the field for the call.
After the play, unnecessary roughness number 2 of Geneva, also number 2 of Grove City, penalties be offset. First down, Geneva.
So the offsetting penalties will make it 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
No harm, no foul on that. And Grove City defense now in charge of trying to seal this game away.
Geneva at the Grove City 41. New quarterback in there. Back to pass. He's going to be hit and sacked and wrapped up in the backfield as Jacob Armbrecht comes up and records his team high 4.5 sacks on the year.
Armbrecht just beat the tackle from Geneva. Tipped his left shoulder, ripped through him, and got right around to Taylor, who just didn't have a chance.
Luke Lloyd in there at quarterback. 3-step drop, looking to throw. Ball knocked away, loose on the turf. Still loose on the turf, and I think one of the Golden Tornadoes able to fall on that football. It looked like falling on that loose ball, Jim, was Ethan Bear, a sophomore running back from Manchester, Maryland.
Yeah, Bear in the right place, right time. That ball came right out of the quarterback's hands, hit the turf, and it took a while for anybee to find it.
Their offense just seems out of sync now, trying to get into a passing formation.
Yeah, and again, that's a lot to ask from. You're 3 3/4 through the game, and now you want the quarterback to start passing. That's a tough assignment.
Lloyd back to pass, 3-step drop, steps up, looks downfield. Dion Miner there, pass downfield, but it carries the receiver. Incomplete and out of bounds, looking for Harrison Coslow, the junior receiver. Incomplete will bring up now a 4th down and long.
And he was trying to get away from Marcus Woodford. He was all over him. And the quarterback was dangerously close to the line of scrimmage. Thought he might have crossed that, but the officials had a pretty good eye on that.
Marcus Woodford, among those young freshmen, seeing a lot of playing time as the year goes along and continuing to improve play by play. Lloyd on 4th and 22. 5-step drop. Sophomore rolls to the right. Eyes downfield, and he's going to be hit and sacked, and that's Dion Miner coming up to make the play on 4th down, and the Wolverines will take over on down.
Yeah, Dion Miner playing sideline to sideline. Came up and put a kind of a low hit on it. Kind of made you cringe a little bit, but a great tackle.
Miner, the team's leading tackler last year, continuing to play exceptionally well in his senior year out of Sykesville, Maryland, in Century High School. Labrie going to work out of the pistol formation. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. Gives to a new ball carrier who's in there, cuts to the right, now back middle and dives across the 40 and down to the 39-yard line.
Brought down by Salas.
Looked like Brandon Talbot, who pretty much didn't have anywhere to run. A lot of gold shirts in front of him. He made something out of it. So great cutback by him.
Talbot, a freshman running back, 5'9", 165 pounds, out of Coatesville, PA, and Coatesville High School. Penny Packer going to come to the sidelines. Checking in for him at a wide receiver spot is going to be Noah Peternell, a freshman. Labrie takes the snap. Gives it once again to Talbot, and Talbot
on the run.
Down to the 36-yard line. A lot of new names and new jerseys in there for the Wolverines with 2:12 to play in the 4th quarter.
Talbot coming in and giving Schools a spell, and I'll tell you, Schools is he's earned his stripes today as he's carried over 30 times and probably should be well over 200 yards by now.
Labrie gets the play from the sidelines. It's 3rd down and 3. Talbot, the running back, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left side. Linebackers creeping up. They'll give the ball to Talbot. Talbot's going to be thrown down in the backfield for a loss and bring up 4th down.
On the run. Brought down by Jacobson.
And you can see just a basic handoff. Geneva coming right up there as you start to get that second team in there. And seems like now we're going to bring on the punt team, play this a little bit safe.
So break will come on and punt the ball away.
Break to punt, sharply deep.
Big game so far, averaging over 45 yards a kick this afternoon.
Yeah, he's done a great job, as has the entire special teams unit from Grove City.
We approach a minute to play, fourth quarter. Snap to break. Rush on, gets the high kick away. Fair catch called for and made inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Geneva will have it with 54 seconds to play in this afternoon's fourth quarter.
Yeah, this defense is coming out, and they've done a fantastic job today. Held Geneva to 7 points, and that was on one big play on a missed assignment. Other than that, they've played solid, especially between the 30s. Again, they've had that bend and don't break mentality. Anything inside the 30, they've been absolutely tough.
So first and 10. They will spot the ball at the 10-yard line. Looks like a lot of the ones still in there defensively for the Wolverines. Up under center with 15 seconds to go. Give it on a quick handoff inside. And is another new quarterback in there for Geneva, and he stood up at the line for no gain. Colin Sweeney, the freshman from Lisbon, Ohio, in there at quarterback. So it is second down and 10 at the 10.
Colin, we know from down in Columbiana County over on the Ohio side. Playing a starter all 4 years at Lisbon. And doing a great job. Getting an opportunity today to get a little bit of work in.
So second down and 10. Down to 20 seconds to play in this fourth quarter. And goes in motion. They'll hand it off up the middle again. Stood up at the line for no gain. And that is going to be the final snap of the football game here this afternoon. Wolverines put another W up on the scoreboard as they defeat Geneva this afternoon here at Robert E. Thorne Field, 25-7. With the win, Grove City improves to 3-5 and 3-3 in the President's Athletic Conference. Geneva drops to 3-5, and they are now 2-4 in PAC play.
Yeah, and a complete game by Grove City, offensively, defensively, and especially with the special teams. Take away a couple of those turnovers, you're looking at what might be as close to a perfect game as you can actually get.
We'll take a break, come back, go over the numbers in this Wolverine victory, and get you set for Senior Day next week against Bethany on the home of the Wolverines, 91.1 WSAJ.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position.